Hey Smilers, Dr. John Gordon here again. Today is Friday, February 22nd, and I thought it was time that we get another vlog up on my blog for you. I want to continue talking about cosmetic dentistry and kind of some of the exciting things we're doing with patients in our office, and some of the things that I think that you should be interested in and looking for when you're exploring the options and the possibility of cosmetic dentistry. One thing I want to talk about first, though, is a book here that I read recently. As many of you know, I'm a big reader, and this is Rules of Thumb. The book is written by Alan Weber, and it is a book that talks about 52 truths for winning a business without losing your self, your personal self. A great book. I read a lot of business books, and so I like to pass on thoughts and ideas and or books that I think are good and meaningful for people. Kind of like trying to not continually reinvent the wheel, but just kind of share information so that people can get to things that they want to start reading and read things that are of interest of other people. And so just passing on the idea. Rule number one of Alan's book, he talks about fear. And he says, don't let fear control you. Let me read more specifically, is don't let fear undermine your chance to do that one thing you've wanted to do, or to be that one person that you wanted to be. And then he says, rule number one touches and influences everything that we do or end up not doing. And I thought that was a pretty interesting concept. And so going back to the idea and the thought of fear, and one book that I read in years past, The Aladdin Factor, don't remember who authored that book, but they talked about fear, and they put an acronym out there that fear is false evidence appearing real, and I know that many of you have heard of that acronym before. But the one thing that I've read in some other books also is the idea of why do we let our fear factors control us so much? And with the reality of what that fear ends up being, or the thing that we worry about the most control us, on a scale of 1 to 10, that fear may really end up being, or that thing that we're worrying about may end up being a 1 to a 3 on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as reality. But that 2 to 3 fear on a scale of 1 to 10 prevents us from enjoying an 8, 9, or 10 experience on a scale of 1 to 10. So the reality is that that thing controlling us has minimal effect upon us, where the reality of what we want to experience or do or become in life is a 10, possible 10, and we never get to that point. So it's overcoming our fears that really allow us to enjoy and embark upon those things that are just going to give us that spark in life. They're going to give us a sense of well-being about who we are, the real sense of joy, the ecstatic fun that we are always looking for in life. So a real good book, and I would encourage all of you to go out and pick this up and read it. And I'd really appreciate some of your feedback, so link back onto my blog and give me some thoughts and some ideas. One thing I want to share with you about, though, is a young man that came in to see me about a month ago. He drove in 2 hours from outside Kansas City, and I'm going to use the name Bill so I can reference him. But Bill came to me out of one fear or one situation that had such a traumatic effect upon him personally. He has a small business in this town, and one of his wife's best friends came to his wife one day and told her, he says, your husband Bill is really a nice guy, but he really needs to fix his teeth. His teeth just look horrible. And he could be such a nicer and friendlier and more attractive guy if he'd just get his cotton picking teeth fixed. Well, his wife shared this with him, and it just devastated him emotionally. So he started searching the internet, found my website, called up our office, and came down immediately. I mean, after this experience, he was in our office within days. And in visiting with him, what I learned from Bill and what I sensed from him, what I saw was how this experience that he had with his wife, the information that he shared, really kind of affirmed his thoughts and feelings about himself, is that he just wasn't a very friendly, happy guy, and his self-esteem just shot through the floor. So he came to me and he shared this story, and I could tell at the end, I could see his shoulders slump, I could see his facial expressions. He was hiding his teeth when he was talking. He was constantly looking down. He was talking with me, not talking with eye contact. And you could just sense, there was no question, how this affected this person, Bill. And he was a nice looking guy, and I could see the potential for him as we were talking. And all Bill came to me for was a sense of hope that something could be done for him. So after we got through talking and I examined his teeth, and I squared around and looked at him and I said, Bill, you know, there is a treatment for you, and we have a couple of options actually. And I shared with him the options, and we came to an agreement as far as what he really wanted to do. He wanted to do it quick. And so again, 1 week later he was in my office and we were doing restorative cosmetic dentistry on his upper teeth. When we completed his first appointment, he had his temporary restorations on, and he was able to look in the mirror. You could just see the facial expression, his facial muscles just relax. He was actually speaking, and his lip was moving now, showing his upper front teeth. And you could sense that there was the beginning of a transformation of the inner self of Bill. And so we've seen him over the last couple of weeks to a month or whatever, and again, each time that we see him, there's just a difference in him. It's a difference in how he carries himself. It's a difference as to how he walks. It's a difference as to how he talks with us, and he's able to share things that he sees with his temporary restorations that he'd like to change and improve upon for his final restorations and his final smile design. But the point is that it took a kind of a catastrophic event to push Bill to the point that he knew he needed to overcome his fear of coming in and having dentistry done. Not fear of the pain of dentistry, but the fear of going from known to an unknown. What was he going to look like when he was done with his work? Exactly how was it going to change him, and what effect was it going to have upon him personally? So it's been a very exciting event with Bill. We haven't finalized his restorations yet because he has a little bit of healing to do from some of the work that we've done. So I'll show some pictures before and after when he's finished with his case, and I'll put them on my blog. But this goes back to rule number 1, is don't let the fear control us to the point to where we don't enjoy life as life was meant to be enjoyed by us. Don't let fear prevent you from becoming the person that you want to become. Don't let fear prevent you from becoming the successful person in a business, the successful person in a relationship, the successful person in any numerous things that you want to do and become in life. Look at that fear. Realize the reality of that fear is minimal in comparison to the reward that you will gain from it. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to refer to you as smilers, because digmysmile.com, if you're coming, you're a smiler, and it's going to be a little easier for me to use that to say, hey smilers, go out and have a great day. But what I want to do is end this by saying, my hat's off to you, Bill, for overcoming your fear. You were very courageous. I admire you. I have high regard for you, and any other person that's been in the same situation that's overcome a fear of this extent and this depth, kudos to you. My hat's off to you. So I look forward to visiting with you next time. If you get the book, please give me some feedback on it, on what your experience was in reading it and what you gleaned from it, and I'll look forward to seeing you again. So we're here still in the thick of the winter. Today is February 26th, as I mentioned, and we are ready to get rid of this snow. So wherever you're at, I hope you're having a great day. We'll see you again soon. Bye.